bunch of questions to ask you. I'm really excited to learn more about the vision of what we call NCBAE.
Yes.
But tell us about the NCBAE experience. What does NCBAE stand for, and what does it mean? What does it represent?
Yeah, so NCBAE is the National Commission for Black Arts and Entertainment. We convene, connect, and celebrate creatives across genres, across disciplines. That's what makes our work very unique. So I'm always someone who's looking to feel, I've been saying lately that I'm on a mission to feel what's missing, because I don't want to duplicate or step on toes or do things that actual experts are doing in their genres, but I want to be the one, and I want this organization to be the one that actually intentionally brings us all together, right? So we are a bridge builder between the genres. So that's like high level work that we do with the artist side. So on the community side, it's more focused around community impact. So we're like, how can we use art as what I call this radical tool for community development, to help support families, to help bring vibrancy into neighborhoods like Price Hill, and to make sure residents are also connected to and have access to high quality arts experiences.
So you were explaining about NCBAE. You intentionally call it the National Commission, right, for Black Arts and Entertainment. You're claiming something there. Is there something to that? Can you take me? I've always been curious about that. Where that started from.
Because I was clear that I wanted to be taken serious. Like, I wanted this organization to hit the ground running. And so I worked for an organization called the National Council for Black Studies. And I ran the day-to-day operations for that and planned their annual conference. So once I got the spark for this, I was like, I'm already in alignment. I know what to do.
I'm gonna stay national.
I'm gonna stay national with this. Like, I know what to do. And I just give so much thanks to the universe for always putting me in the positions that lead me to my next thing and help build me up to where I know what I'm doing. And so, once I got the real life push to make this like manifest, I was like, okay, I want us to start off as national, and now we're international because we have membership that reaches all the way to South Africa, London, and Oslo. Eswatini, I got a shout them out, Lucian, if you're watching.
Okay.
So yeah, just being very intentional about being taken serious is why I named it what I named it.
I love that. And you did mention something too that I want to go back on. You used the word radical.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I've noticed, I don't know if everybody would notice this when they come into the space, is that you're greeted by, a Huey P. Newton chair.
Yes.
Right. And I wonder if maybe you can speak to does being radical in the work, is that intentional? Does that mean something in terms of the way you try to platform Black arts and entertainment?
Yeah, it really does. I think that people often think of art as just something that you put up on the wall, that you just, you listen to, or that's used just for beauty. And that's a very powerful and important piece of it. But I'm like, art can be used, to help people heal and to connect people, and in ways that we haven't traditionally used it. Like want to experience what it's like to use art for stuff like workforce development, and to combat hunger and violence prevention through hunger. So we, came up with the free breakfast and art program. So you talk about Huey P. Newton, like thinking about them and what the Black Panther Party, started many years ago. That program is really an ode to them. Just something as simple as being in a neighborhood and seeing a problem and providing a solution and saying, hey, I know, the kids in the neighborhood where we just came from went to the corner store all day long. They eating all the stuff that kids eat. And then by the time I'm leaving, it's, little drama. And I'm like, they hungry.
Yeah.
So me being a mother, a woman, a nurturer, I'm like, okay, let me at least do something to be a part of the solution. And that's why we came up with the free breakfast and art program, which comes from the Black Panther Party.
Absolutely. I have a ton of respect for it. And it's one of the reasons I was really excited when we were able to bring you to the Creative Campus. One of the things that we care a lot about at Price Hill, one of the things that we think is the most impactful things about living in Price Hill is diversity is one of the strengths of the Price Hill community. It's something that Price Hill is really intentional about in creating spaces where people can see themselves, and then also creating spaces where people can experience different cultures, right? So that's why we were excited to bring your organization, NCBAE, in. Growing up on the West Side, growing up in Price Hill, you say 20 years, I've been here 2 years. So, you know, a little bit of difference there, but but do you think that you're bringing something that's needed? I mean, from your experience?
Oh, for sure. Oh, definitely from mine. So primarily in like Westwood, so like up in Harrison, that area, McHenry is where I grew up at. But living here as an adult, you know, being able to see a lot of the changes that's going on, which I think is, you know, really good. It's, you know, the Warsaw Avenue Creative Campus is bringing businesses online and creating that movement. So just like what you just talked about, I think it's wonderful to have different cultures represented. And I'm Black everywhere I go, every day, 365. And I love our culture, and I love the things that we've created and contributed to the world. And so, you know, why not have it here? Like, I'm really excited to get rooted here and to bring some flavor, our flavor, should I say, to this part of the neighborhood.
I'm glad you said flavor. Let's talk about a little bit of that flavor. What is coming up for the rest of the year? What could people expect out of NCBAE? What will bring them to this space at the Creative Campus?
Yeah, so right now I'm very much wrapped into our final Midwest Regional Black Culture Fest that happens every summer in Washington Park. So we're getting ready for that. It's June 13th, 12 to 5, free, open to families. It's just a day of wonderfulness. We have a fashion show, a hair show, DJ, host, vendors. It's just a beautiful day out. And it's always open to everybody. Everybody's always welcome to come and experience, you know, what we've experienced. Then we have July is our first annual conference, July 10th and 11th at the First Financial Center. 2 days, over 30 genres represented, almost 100 panelists.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I can't believe I did all that.
It's awesome.
It is. It's really awesome. It's groundbreaking, and it's, from my research, something that has never happened. I know at least not happened here in Cincinnati. So very thankful for this organization to be leading the way with that. We just got some funding from we just got funding from the United Way to launch our free breakfast and art program this summer here in Price Hill. So I look forward to that after I survive these big events that I got coming up. And then we look forward to getting back to our regular programming, which is like Canvas Noir, where we feature artists every month. We want to vibe with, you know, Price Hill Will and other, you know, organizations in Price Hill to see where we can collaborate and come up with some new things that speak specifically to the needs that we have in this community. So we're always open to that. And who knows, Greg? I'm always coming up with stuff. That was a lot.
That was a lot.
You know,
I love
be doing
it.
all kind of stuff.
It sounds like you are going to help the community get outside, as they say. So, we're super excited about that.
So, what new spaces opening here would you like to see get added to the Warsaw Avenue Creative Campus?
I'm really excited that we're about to actually finish what is really a 7-year vision. So, as I said, I've only been in the area 2 years, but you probably remember what the Creative Campus, the 3100 block of Warsaw Avenue, looked like just probably a little bit over 5 years ago. It certainly did not look like what it looks like today, right? This is $13.5 million of investment, tremendous partnerships. You're talking about partnerships with the port. You're talking about partnerships with the city of Cincinnati, with LISC that helps nonprofits like ourselves do community development, Cincinnati Development Fund, and many others, right? Leadership like Rachel Hastings that was here and her vision. So there's just community members who have advocated, and I know seemingly, because I've talked to them, seemed like they advocated for years and it fell on deaf ears. And so finally, you know, to look out of the window in your new space and see a $10 million street rehab project happening, and then right next door to us, the final building being finished. Actually, a building that we're going to commemorate the same weekend that you're having your national conference. July 11th, we'll be here celebrating your business, celebrating other businesses opening up here. Sabor Alanis, a new a tamale shop that's opening here in just the coming days. And then the opening of this new building here, 2 more commercial spaces that we hope to bring, again, culturally expressive, artistically inclined businesses to this space.
Yes.
And it's also got 9 affordable rental units that people will be able to find really quality but affordable housing. So we're really excited about the Creative Campus because of what it represents in terms of holistic community development.
You answering all my questions, Greg.
Well, listen,
I'm so glad you brought up the housing piece, because that's what was going to be my next question.
Yeah,
like,
please,
talk more
about
that and like the inspiration behind it, or maybe not the inspiration since you got here, but what does that mean to you? Like knowing that we'll have all type of, people living, working, and playing in this neighborhood in such a way.
I'll be honest with you. When people talk about redevelopment, I say to them, all redevelopment is hard. But when you're talking about trying to do redevelopment in a way that is actually growing with people, that's really hard. Because frankly, the system is not set up to support that. It's not about people making decisions not to do that. Literally, our system does not support that. And so it takes cooperation. It takes organizations collectively working with funders and government entities and developers in the private sector to say, hey, not only are we going to build something that is going to raise the value and attract in people to experience it, but we're going to do it in a way where there is room for people who are already here to grow with that development. And that's where I think that, look, the work of Price Hill, well, that's what we do. We stand in that gap. And that's what I get excited about when I see something like the Warsaw Creative Campus really begin to take shape. It's not only is it a great development for a neighborhood that deserves it, but it also is hope in terms of how we can do development. And so, look, it's got to work, right? But I think that when you give people space, whether you're talking about giving people space to live or you're giving people space to share in their cultures. When you give people space, good things are going to happen, right? Because they feel comfortable. Now they begin to create things that you didn't even think about. And that's kind of the way I look at it. I think that that's the advantage of creating neighborhoods where there are multiple different types of people in different parts of their life's journey that can still feel comfortable in that same neighborhood. Yeah, that's when you get really both eclectic and cohesive neighborhoods at the same time. And I think, as a resident here, I think that's what a lot of Price Hill people want. Yeah. And I'm excited about being a little bit a part of making some of that happen here at Price Hill.
So just to switch the gear just a little bit with the question, but it still kind of go with the theme of it, because we're talking about, what we want to see. What do you think is your hidden gem in this neighborhood?
It's funny to me, when you go back into Price Hill, I think you can really start to understand it. And one of the things the thing that attracted me, the reason we moved here, was the architecture is beautiful, right? Like, we didn't tear down these buildings. Some of our buildings may need a little love, but you can't beat our architecture. I put it up there with any neighborhood in Cincinnati, and I definitely put it up there with places around the region, because I would argue that it's not just the homes, but it's also the buildings on the commercial district. And so to me, you can drive down streets in Price Hill and you are going to see character really in each one of the homes. And I think that that's something that is timeless, right? And I think when I think about Price Hill and where I want it to go, and I also think about what it's withstood. For all that Price Hill is going through, and it's going through a lot, Price Hill is still here, still talking about getting to that next level. And I think that speaks to, hey, it's sturdy, it's timeless, it's in our architecture, right? So to me, that's where it's at for me. Once you get past the surface of what you think this neighborhood is, and you really give it a second look, I think you can see what's really there.
Yeah, I love that.
I love that question a lot. Same one to you. What would you say? You've been there a little bit longer than me. What would you say?
So many, but the first thing that came to my mind is the park that's next to the Incline Public House, our restaurant that's up here.
Yeah.
That beautifully overlooks the city.
That is nice.
I mean, it's super dope. We got front row seats to any fireworks show, and I bet it's killing any other neighborhoods.
That's for sure.
Maybe not Eden Park, but we are close. Because Eden Park is right on the river. But what's the name? Is it? I'm gonna call it Olden View.
Olden View. And you're right. That Labor Day. I know Labor Day is big out here.
It's packed.
And I would say, I think ours view is a little bit better. It's also a little less packed, right? You just
a little less packed. They get a little packed. But I love to see that. That means our community is out and people are outside, like you said earlier. And that's what I love for us. So thank you so much.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, thank you for taking a little time. Thanks for inviting me into the space. It's beautiful, and I know the community is just gonna really, really enjoy it here. And that wasn't too bad. Good coffee and a good chat at the Creative Campus. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.